Many other things. Ann-Marie MacDonald is a Governor General Award-winning playwright, an actor, a television host, as well as the best-selling author of iconic Canadian works Fall on Your Knees and The Way the Crow Flies. Ann-Marie is back with a brand new and deeply personal adult Onset, her first in over a decade, and we are very pleased that Ann-Marie could join us today, and a conversation I think I never expected to have with you. We were just talking about Brian Burke, so go figure. Really nice to have you here.
It's great to be here, Tara. Thank you.
For those who may not have heard about the book yet, can you just give us a kind of an overview?
Well, it's about 1 week in the life of a woman in the here and now. It's very contemporary, set in Toronto with excursions out west and into the past. But really this takes place during 1 week. She's a 40-something woman. She's a lesbian. She's married to a woman. And she has put aside her career to be a full-time homemaker. And she has very, very young children and very, very old parents. And to the casual outside observer, over the course of this week, nothing changes in this woman's life. But on the inside, she basically falls apart and has to start putting herself back together again by Sunday.
Okay, so this is the story of Mary Rose McKinnon. And so she, like you said, she has a wife, she's got 2 kids, she lives in the annex, so there are a lot of parallels to your life.
Really, I noticed that.
So where did the similarities, I suppose, stop, or do they?
Well, my children were still very young when I started writing this. My youngest was 5, and in school, they were both in school full time, so I had this band of time during the day to write, and I thought, you know, I'm still sleep deprived, I'm a parent, I'm doing lots of other things, I can't travel, I can't do a whole bunch of research, I'll just do something easy. I'll take it all from my own head and my own heart, my own kitchen table. I'm just going to write what's already in my head.
Right.
You know, I haven't gone grocery shopping, what are we having for supper? Pasta. So this book is going to be pasta. I thought it would be easy and fluid, and in fact it's probably the hardest piece of fiction that I've ever taken on, because I did donate my own personal sort of psychic, metaphorical and literal tissues to this book.
So, but it wasn't a conscious, like, you know what, this is the time I need to kind of purge. It just, it evolved.
No, I swore I would never write a confessional, thinly veiled work of fiction.
Right.
So much for that vow. But because of that, actually, it was the greatest fictional challenge, because, you know, when you walk into the theater and you think, oh, this is bare stage. It's never a bare stage. You're never really looking at the back wall of the theater. It's been very finely crafted to give you that impression, and that's what this is too. It is fictionalized, it's compressed, and yeah, I robbed myself. I was as ruthless with myself as I've been with anybody else in terms of getting raw material going. So
it's your story, it's Mary Rose's story, or missed her, as it were, but you've also said that you want to make it everybody's story, and indeed, I mean, there's so much one can relate to, but what did you mean by that? Why don't you make it everybody's story?
Well, we were all born. We've all been cared for to one extent or another. We all have someone for whom we're responsible. And you know, being right at the heart of the generative process, raising the next generation, having elderly parents, a lot of people can relate to that, whether they have kids or not, you know? And here's the thing, too. She's 40-something. She's not a biological mother. She's a lesbian. She's married. She's coming from the outside into the center of mainstream culture. So she's got a sense of belonging and not belonging. And that's where it kind of surprised me. A lot of younger guys have been identifying with this book. And I thought, well, why is that? And I go, they don't even have kids. Well, I think it's because I've invited them through the eyes of this protagonist who never thought she would be invited into the inner sanctum of motherhood herself and marriage. And so she's always questioning it, feeling that she's never measuring up on the one hand, and feeling like, what do you want? Like, I've opened my veins here for these kids. Isn't it enough? So there's both those things going up.
And the thoughts that people think that they never want to talk about.
People don't really want to admit that they have some of the thoughts that Mary Rose has. But I also wanted to contextualize it very much in the sense that a lot of people have these struggles, and they feel like, oh, I must be the only one. Does that make me a bad person?
Just a glimpse into your mind. I really suggest people please do pick this up. It is available now, and you can catch Ann-Marie at WordFest next weekend. 4 different appearances in Calgary and Banff. For more information, as always, head to breakfasttelevision.ca. What an honor and a pleasure to have you here today.
Oh, Tara, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for joining us.